Creating a well-functioning industry area with good traffic flow is one of the hardest things in City Skylines. In today's video, we are going to try to build a future-proof farming industry by adding a few complicated road systems and most importantly, following the City Skylines supply chain, which can be found on the official wiki, to minimize interfering traffic and unnecessary import of raw goods. This video was a real struggle to make, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into building. First of all, we need to find a place to build this industry. So let's open our Natural Resources tab and take a look at where we have some fertile land. Looking at the map, there's 3 spots that first come to mind. The one over here, the one over here, and the one over here. Now the problem with this place over on the left is that naturally we will probably expand the residential part of our city all the way to over here at some point. It wouldn't make sense to build a farming industry there if we know that in a few episodes we'll have residential there. So let's take a look at the second place. This place also isn't ideal because it is right on the edge of a tile. So if we were to build a farming industry here, we would need to buy 2 additional tiles. The last place remaining is this place over here, which has good highway access, which allows people to quickly drive from the residential area to the farming industry. And there's always the possibility of adding a bridge over here if we really need it. So I think this is the ideal place. Later on we could also add a forestry industry over here, so everything would be nice together. So let's just buy the tile and start building. It's not too expensive, which is ideal. And then let's take a look at the area. If we take a look at the supply chain, we can see that the first thing we need is extractor buildings. Extractor buildings are also the ones that are in need of the fertile land. So we need to be very efficient with space. First of all, we will obviously need to zone an industry area. So let's just do that right now and take this entire area over here. Something like that. We can always adjust that later on. And now we can start planning the roads. So I'm going to plan this out with the 2-lane gravel road because those are cheap. And I think I'm going to be using a one-way road system in this industry area to improve traffic. But first of all, we need to find a place for our first extractor buildings. And I was thinking of building them right over here to fill up this fertile land. We can then have a bypass road running all the way over here to the next stage of the industrial process, which will most likely be somewhere over here to not waste the fertile land. So let's just start with adding a road right over here. Maybe a straight road will do. Like that. And before we do anything else, let's just place a main building to mark which kind of industry this is. We can always change that location later on, but once we have placed the main building, we can actually start placing those extractors. So let's just place it right here for now. And as you can see, this unlocks a small crop field and a small fruit field, which are extractors. We have a small grain silo, which is storage, and a small animal pasture, which is the processor building, which will come in the next step. First of all, let's place a small crop field to work as an extractor. Let's just do that right over here. And then what we can do is measure out the length of this crop field, which looks to be around 180 construction cost. And if we just do that again, so 360, and then place a road, we should be able to perfectly fit in a second one, like that. And as you can see, this is exactly the size of the fertile land, which allows us to continue a strip like this all the way over here. But that is for later, because now we are running quite short on money, so let's just unpause the game. Now, what I want to do is actually convert this into a, cotton field as well, so that we have the same kind of product on those 2 fields, which just looks a lot better. So now we have our first extractor buildings in. Oh, I see they are in need of water, and of course I shouldn't forget to give them water and power. So let's just do that. For now, for this one time, I will not place the pipes under the road to save some costs, and the power will also be directly connected from here. We can always fix that later on. Alright, let's just connect it over here as well. And then we can start thinking about the next step. The next step will be storage buildings, and I was thinking of placing those right over here, because this place in the middle is kind of left over, as we will have our processing buildings and everything else somewhere right over here, and this will all be extractor buildings. So this might be a really nice place to place some storage buildings. Let's just do that right over here. And let's now take a small grain silo, place it right over here, just to mark where the big storage will happen. Now obviously we will need to connect this, so let's just do that like this, and this will probably need water as well. Connect the water pipes, and let's move on to the next step, which are the processing buildings. Now if we take a look at all of the processing buildings from the farming industry, we can see that we have animal pastures which produce animal products, and we have a flour mill which we will unlock later on, but that produces flour. Now because we have two different processing products, I was thinking of also creating two road paths for both the products, which would mean the main road with everything beside it splitting up somewhere over here. So let's just continue the road and split it up for now. We will make this look way better later on. And then over here, we can start to place the first animal pasture once we have enough money for that. Speed up time a little. And let's just place it right over here. Now looking at the supply chain after the processing buildings, there's a few more options as well, but that mainly includes unique factories, which as you can see, we cannot unlock yet. And because we don't have a lot of money as well, for now I'll just leave it like this, and this will be the process that we will first be optimizing. Now obviously we need to connect this to the highway, and we need a water pipe as well, just like a power line. But that connecting to the highway will cost us quite a lot of money, which we don't have at the moment. So for now, we will connect it up like this. Upgrade this to a one-way road at least. That's the least we can do. And then doing the same over here for the exit. Let's see, where will we do that? I think the best might be to... let's get a little bit more money. To simply add a road like this. Wait for the money. And connect it right over here. Now I know this is really ugly and the wrong way, but we will fix this, I promise. This is just to let workers from our residential area come into the area so that they can actually start working there, and obviously for trucks to leave and enter the industry area. But once we have a little bit of money, we'll come back and expand the area, as well as creating some nice highway interchanges to have a proper entrance to the industry area. Anyways, while we're making some money, I want to address an issue that I need to fix from the last episode. So in the last episode, we did some pretty big expanding in the city. There's nothing wrong with expanding, but there is something wrong with the way I was expanding. I just zoned a lot of stuff while having the game paused, and then unpaused and let everything grow all together. Now that is the perfect recipe for death waves, and as you guys pointed out in the comments, we don't like that. Luckily there is an easy fix for this before it's too late, and that is basically by dezoning some big 4x4 buildings, residential buildings, and then later on rezoning them again. This will hopefully prevent death waves, as there will be a lot of new residents as well. So let's just do that, and thank you for notifying me in the comments about this issue. Alright, I have dezoned a few areas here and there, and then we will just wait for a little bit before rezoning them again. Alright, so I let the game running for a while, and a part of a lot of money, we also got to 5,000 population, and we have water problems. So what we could do is place a water pumping station, but instead I think I'm going to increase the water budget a little bit. Crank it up to 110%, because we were just pumping a little less than we were consuming, so it wouldn't make sense to place a new water pumping station already. Instead I increased the budget, which should help us survive for a little bit longer. Anyways, I think it's time to rezone all of those areas that I just dezoned, and then we can go back to the industry. Because now we have a little bit more money to work with, and we can create some nice interchanges. Alright, so we are back at our industry area, Underhill Estate. I don't know, if you have a better name for the area, let me know in the comments. And the first thing that we're going to do is add a few more extractor buildings. Let's just increase this road by a little bit and add a few more crop fields. These are the crop fields. Like that. And somehow they are all the same product. How can we be so lucky? Maybe let's add one more silo as well, because that one was pretty full. Do it like that. And while we add it, we can also place a second animal pasture, like that. Alright, so now we have done all that, let's start thinking about the entrance of the area. Alright, so before we start planning, we need to think of all of those gravel roads as one-way roads, because that is what we are going to do. So we have two one-way roads leading up to this side, which will probably connect to each other somewhere over here, and then continue together to the processing area. We will need a better entrance though. So let's just grab a highway ramp and start building an exit. Let's do something like that. And then lower it on the next node. And lower it again until it reaches the ground floor. And that is a pretty smooth highway exit. Now obviously we need one from the other side as well. Now because we have a bridge over here, we can just leave this highway ramp on the ground level. So let's just do that. Add an exit over here. And then we should be able to add a really nice little curve. Let's do that right now. Oh! Before we could do that, we reached level 2, which unlocks the flour mill, the second processing building, our first unique factory, which will come later. We won't worry about that right now, and a few storage buildings and workers' barracks, which I believe just increase the productivity, the efficiency of the farming area. But I'm not too sure about that, so I'll have to read the building's description for that. Anyways, let's just first finish this highway entrance. We need to somehow squeeze ourselves through here. So let's just remove this road for now. That was a temporary road anyways. And that allows us to create a way more comfortable corner here. And connect it up to the highway. Now the thing I don't like is that this curve is slightly imperfect. Let's just rebuild it. And now it looks much better. Upgrade the road so that it faces the right direction. And then what we can do is transform into a 2-lane highway. Like that. So that we can connect both of the highway ramps to it. We will need to rebuild this piece of road as well. Like that. And there we have the first part of our highway interchange. The outgoing road interchange will probably be somewhere over here, so we shouldn't worry too much about that as of yet. Let's just first connect the incoming roads up to the area over here, place the flour mill, and then we can start thinking about the exit. So let's just first upgrade all of this to 2-lane roads, and there goes the power. But I believe the power is connected anyways, so that shouldn't be too big of a problem. Here we can upgrade it as well. And now all that's left to do is create a nice split over here. Looking at the fertile land, we can see that here is some fertile land as well, so there will probably be more extractor traffic going over this road. Because of this, I would ideally want traffic that needs to go to processing buildings, for example, without stopping at the extractors, to take this road over here. And because traffic chooses the shortest route, I think what I'm going to do is connect this road up. Let's see, how are we going to do that? To the road over here. Let's just do it like this. And then add a normal road. So what we will do is create an exit right over here. Just stop snapping to things. And that road will then curve around. Over the exit road. And then turn back around towards the first farm field. Now you might ask, is this overcomplicated? Yes, but that's just the way it is. I hope this will prevent traffic that only wants to go to the processors from going this way, and thus decreasing traffic on this road over here, which will be more heavily used for extractors later on. Now let's just upgrade this entire road to a one-way road. While we're at it, we have enough money anyway. And then we can start thinking about the flour mill. So we have a road over here. And then what we can simply do is add a second road right over here, which will lead to the flour mill. Now, to smoothen things out, maybe we can just simply add a curve here, just to make it look nicer as well. Like that. And we can do the same on the other side once we actually make the turn. I don't know how big that flour mill is. Let's just take a look. That isn't too big. Yeah, this should be fine. Add another curve right over here. And we should be fine. Now what we can do is add that flour mill. And we have our second extractor building ready to produce. A processing building, of course, not extractor building. Now, the problem we have right now is that we need an exit road. And because I am not completely sure where we will end this industry area, I want to just simply take a small road like that. And let's just take a 2-lane road like that. Elevate it a little. Actually, this part can already be upgraded to a 1-lane highway ramp. One part will go down here. Yeah, why not connect it like that? It doesn't need to look good. This is just temporary, so that trucks can leave like that. Alright, this doesn't look good at all, and don't blame me for it. We are just going to fix that later on. In this episode, I promise. I just needed a highway exit for now. Alright, so now that the area, well, I wouldn't say it's complete, but we at least have an exit road. We can unpause the game again. And now hopefully they will start actually transporting stuff. For now, obviously all the produced products like animal products and flour will be either exported or, looking at the supply chain, be transported to the generic industry, which we have over here. This is also a reason that I won't just... Oh, water problem. Higher the budget again. 120 this time. What I want to say, this is also the reason that I won't remove this industry as of yet. Probably at some point we will move that to, let's say, over here. But for now I'll leave it so that the trucks can actually bring the special goods produced by the processors to such a generic industry, which will then produce generic goods which will be brought to the commercial buildings. Now the next step, which we will do at the end of this episode, is create a special factory, which will combine the special goods into, let's see, how is it called? Generic goods, which will be then directly transported to the commercial buildings. For now though, let's just first stick to expanding the industry area with more extractors and more processors. Before we do anything else, you can see that these crop fields on this road over here have a problem of having not enough buyers for products. Because the road here is a one-way road, trucks simply can't leave the extractor buildings because there just is no way out. So let's just fix it right now. Take a road and let's just drag it all along here and then, I don't know, temporarily connect it up here. Once we place so many fields that we will have to relocate this road, we can think about a better solution. Speaking of fields, let's just add a few. To make some space, let's move the farm main building, I don't know, to somewhere next to the storage buildings or something. That should be good. And then let's take out some crop fields and place a few of them. And obviously we transform them all into cotton fields to make it look better. And actually, maybe we can actually start using potato fields from here to make it look less repetitive. And then every field that we add from now on will be a potato field. Alright, so that should be all fine. This should also solve the problem of the flour mill not having enough raw materials, because as you can see, there's already a lot of trucks leaving and they will serve all of the crops to the flour mill. And we need water. Obviously, we need to give those fields water. I completely forgot, as usual. And then let's start thinking about the next step in our industrial process. By leveling up the industry area to level 2, we unlocked our first special factory, which is the bakery. It needs all the products we currently produce, crops, flour and animal products, and we'll create luxury goods out of them, which will be transported to commercial buildings. But instead of just placing a bakery over here and calling it a day, I'm going to use the same process as I used from the extractor to the processing buildings to hopefully decrease export, which is using storage buildings. And we don't have specific storage buildings for flour and animal products as far as I know, but what we do have are warehouses. Those warehouses can basically store every product we want. So what we're going to do is just extend those roads, create some warehouses to store the animal products and flour, and then create a road to the bakery. So let's just take a look and extend this road a little bit, like that and like that. And now the problem we're dealing with is that we have let's take out the terrain view, we have a gigantic hole here, and this hole is kind of in the way. So let's just fill it up, I guess. I know I don't have infinite money, so it is a little bit costly to do this, but it shouldn't be too expensive as it's not too big of a landscaping thing that we're doing. But it will certainly make everything look a lot better, so we're going to do it anyway. I don't know, I'm not going to be very precise because you probably won't see that anyways. As long as we have some kind of acceptable hole that doesn't look too bad, it should be all fine. Something like that. Let's just smoothen this out. Yeah, that should be fine. So my idea for the warehouses was to basically create one block of them. I don't know if you could actually call that a block, with roads on two sides. So basically just have the warehouses in the middle of this gigantic square over here. So to do this, we are first of all going to drag a road in the middle of this square here, and just as a guideline, obviously. And then what we can do is test out how big a small warehouse would be. If I can see this correctly, this would be 6 cells, or I don't know if they are called cells, but we have everything that we need to know. So what we can do right now is just drag out a road like this, 6 cells, because that is the width of a warehouse. Create a parallel road, and then do the same on the other side. And now, if I'm correct, this should be 12 cells, which it is. And now we can place 2 warehouses and it will exactly fit. And that looks absolutely beautiful. Now let's just delete all of those support roads. Pause the game before everything goes crazy. And what I wanted to do is actually grab a highway ramp and connect that up here, because then we can upgrade this to a highway ramp as well. What this is doing is basically splitting the traffic that wants to go to the warehouse, that is obviously coming from these processors, and the traffic that wants to exit the industry area straight away, because for example it delivered its product from the extractors and it just wants to get back. And what am I seeing here? The place is on fire. Oh no. I don't even know if there will be fire trucks coming over here. Oh, garbage problem. Oh. The landfill site is full. Okay, so that's what happens when you don't pay attention to your city. Let's just place a second landfill, because we haven't unlocked the incineration plant yet. So let's just find a place for that. Where do we place it? There isn't really a good place to do this, right? I guess the only way would be placing it either here or moving all the coal power plants and creating space in that way. So like this, and then we can fit in one. No, we can't, because it's sloped too steep. But now I have moved everything, I have to place it right here. Otherwise the moving would be for nothing. So we're going to do some landscaping until it fits. And now it should fit. Yep. Let's place it. And then we will empty this landfill site once we have an incineration plant. But for now, the only thing we can hope is that the garbage trucks from this landfill site will be quick enough with picking up all of the garbage, so that there won't be massive amounts of people leaving the city. Alright, back to the industry area. What I was trying to say is that because we're already slowly working towards the exit of the industry area, we only need the warehouses and the bakery and then we will be done. We need to start separating the leaving traffic from the traffic that still needs to go to a location in the industry area. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. And then we can just upgrade this road to the regular one-way road again. And then let's do the same on the other side. Take out a highway ramp. Like that. Obviously, pick the right direction, and then to make sure that leaving traffic will take the highway, we should just continue using highway ramps on this specific piece of road, and then everything should be fine. So now what we need to do is click on the warehouse and select the stored resource. Obviously, the products coming into this warehouse are the animal products, and in the other one, it will be flour. So now let's just extend this road over here and make sure to leave enough space so that we can technically place a second warehouse if we need to. And then let's just bring those roads back together so that they can go to the bakery, which we could maybe just place right over here. And then take out that bakery, Special Factories bakery, and place it right over here. Alright, then what we need to do is grab ourselves the highway and create a bridge over here. Let's just start over here. And bring it down like this. And then what we could even do is destroy this road over here. And connect all of this up. Like that. Is it completely smooth? No, it is not. Okay, let's just redo it then. Like that and like that. Also not completely smooth, but already better. That should be good. Let's just change the direction of this one over here. And then we can start thinking about the exit of the industry area. We obviously need to split into two sides, one of them going this direction and one of them going the other direction. So if we just take this road, for example, what I'm going to do is split the roads first into their separate directions before bringing the three exit roads that we have, this one, and this one, all together. Because what I could do obviously is bring them all three together and then split them back into two for the two exit directions that we have. But then you would create unnecessary merges. So what we're going to create is a mess of roads, but one that should increase the traffic flow throughout the industry area. So let's just start with this road. Just do something like that and create one road. Maybe disable snapping first and then just split them into two. Like that. And like that. And then we should be able to continue this road all the way over here. Now let's bring this second road all the way around. Something like this should be good. And then again, we need to split the road into two. One of them continuing over here and the second one exiting for the other direction. The same goes for the road coming from the bakery. But if I would split the road up right over here, there would basically be no time for truckers that leave the bakery to choose which of the two directions they want to go in. So what I'm going to do is actually delete this road and bring the node that we had on the end of the road a little bit closer to the bakery so that we can create a tight curve over here. And that already gives two switching nodes. So maybe let's just extend the road a little bit more and then we can split it again into two. Let's just first extend this road, by the way, so that we don't get into problems with space is already occupied. Disable snapping and split those roads into two. And one of those will then turn back around to get back to the other direction of the exit. Actually, let's just place it without snapping so it can be parallel with the highway, like that. And this curve is slightly imperfect, which we will then fix. That is already way better. And then all that's left to do is curve this road around, elevate it, and do this. And then obviously we need to do the same for the other side. Like that. Bring it down to ground level. And then get the other road out. Do the same. And then what we're going to do is merge this road into one. And you might be asking, why am I doing this? 2 lane back to 1 lane sounds like the recipe of problems. Now, if we wouldn't do that, we would have a 3-lane highway joining another 3-lane highway. I want to narrow down the lanes as much as possible before entering the highway. Obviously, 2 lanes is still fine because if traffic really gets bad, we can just upgrade this entire stretch of highway to a 2-lane highway because we have 1 lane leaving here anyways. But for now, we will just leave it because it will be throwing away money at this point. And why am I choosing those two roads and not the road coming from the bakery? Well, simply because those two roads have already split it earlier on. So, at least that's what I hope, that will be the two lanes with the least amount of traffic. So, let's just grab the other road. And merge it somewhere over here. We can actually just merge this into the highway. And then merge this road. And there we have it. That's one side of the exit done. And obviously, if this turns out to go horribly wrong, which it might because it's a lot of merges close together, we can always fix that by, for example, extending this 2-lane highway a little bit further, which could help with traffic flow. But that's something for another time. I'm happy that it's connected now. Now the only thing that we need to do is the other side. And this is an interesting one, because obviously on the other side I connected these two roads up, which are effectively this one and this one. So let's just do that too, to keep the same structure. Let's just extend this road a little bit. And then create a little merge right over here. Grab a 2-lane highway. And this merge is not ideal, but it works. Maybe we can, to make it look better. That was not what I meant to do. I meant to merge it diagonally. Like that. Yeah, that looks better already. And now we just need the other road. Place it somewhere in between here. Maybe on this side. Create an even bigger lane mess. Why not? That works. Obviously this road needs to be elevated, and to create room for that, we need to remove the temporary interchange. Like that. Then elevate this road over here to be able to go over the highway. I don't know if this is actually going to work. Maybe we need to start elevating from here. That might be even better. Something like that. And then create the final elevation right over here. And then this should work. Like that. And I now just realized that I merged all of those roads here immediately. And here I used a 2-lane highway. Well, we can just leave it and merge that into 1 lane later. So over here. And then we can just see which one works best and implement it on the other side. I have the slight suspicion that this solution might be even better with a 2-lane highway and then back merging into 1. But we will see. I'm not going to change anything because that only costs extra money, and that is what we don't want right now. So let's just extend this highway all the way over here. And we need to somehow merge this other one in as well. So maybe if we just first get it to the middle somehow. And then we can merge it maybe here. You know what? Let's just do it like this. We add a 2-lane highway right over here. And then we can merge this one in like that, and the other one like this. Okay, maybe from the other side, because that just didn't look the best. Like this. That is way better already. Why does this not work? Okay, let's just redo this entire section and hope for the best. Yeah, that works. Alright, now the only thing that we need to do is bring this road to the ground level. and connect it to the highway. And there we have it, a overcomplicated but hopefully future-proof highway exit interchange to create an exit for the industry area. The entrance was a little bit easier, it seems. But now we have that done, we can just connect everything up and give everything water. And I'm sure that we will enjoy some great traffic flow through there. Connect it with power. And then let's see. Obviously there won't be a lot of trucks right now because every truck is taking the temporary road, or at least is programmed to do so. Now let's just delete all the temporary roads as I just did. And then we can see the first trucks taking the massive interchange. To be fair, it is really a little bit overkill maybe for this small industry area, but in the entire area I built it future-proof with a lot of room for expansion. And it actually doesn't look all too bad. Now let's see if the bakery will actually start to get some products. They have enough crops. They have enough flour. We just need animal products, which will probably come very soon. Yep, and there they are. And now the luxury goods, which are pastries apparently, are being produced. And as you can see, that immediately provides a huge increase in value because the material cost is 1,280, but the production value is 3,840. So we're making a bunch of profit. Let's see if this is still in our industry area. No, it's not. Let's just include it so that it also will be counted for the profit made by Underhill Estate. Again, a better name, leave it in the comments. And we are actually making profit now. Oh, and we hit level 3. What do we get? A lemonade factory? I don't know. I thought there was only one unique factory that was for the farming industry. And we get some new extractors and a new animal product, I believe it is. Or animal product, what am I saying? Animal products processing building. So let's take a look at that special factory that we just unlocked. And what do we need? Oh, we need crops and glass. Okay, so we can't even, well, we could build it, but glass is produced by, I believe it is oil industry. So we don't have that right now, so it would be basically useless to place it. So we unlocked that medium crop field. We could just place 2 of those right over here to create some variation. Obviously have it be a potato field, and as you can see, there's actually buildings on it. So that already makes it look less boring than the cotton fields and the potato fields, at least the small crop fields. That's all the same that we placed earlier. So looking at the stats of the industry area, you can see that a lot of the produced crops are still exported. So what we could do is maybe add a few more processing buildings. So let's just add a second flour mill right over here. And let's just add, I don't know, like 2 more animal pastures. And then we are almost out of money. Because looking at how much the animal pastures produce, 2,400 a week. Times 4, that is 9,600 units per week. One flour mill produces 4,000 a week. So that would be 8,000. So we produce a little bit less flour, but it's almost equal. So we are pretty much balanced in both of the special goods that are needed for the bakery. What we could even do though is place a 3rd flour mill, because we have the money, so why not? Like that. And then I just hope that trucks can actually change lanes on this node if they don't want to go all the way over here. It seems like they can. I just saw that happening. And then calculating 3 times 4,000 is 12,000. So we need another animal pasture to be completely level with what we're producing. So let's just place another one right over here. And it's starting to get a little full already. So maybe we should just bring this road split up a little bit earlier in the future. Who knows? For now it works. And we are a little bit short of raw materials. So I hope all of those trucks that are producing stuff will solve that issue. Let's just see what happens. And well, that is solving itself. Let's just take a look at the garbage problem. And we have a few abandoned buildings that we can just destroy. Is there any more? There's one over here. But it seems like a big part of the garbage problems is already solved. Only the edges of the city still need to be freed of their garbage. But that should sort itself out pretty quickly. And look at that, all of the problems are solved. Everything is working fine. And I think with that, it is time to round up the episode. Maybe we just need to place a few more storage buildings, because those are completely full. That is the last thing that we're going to do today. Let's just pick a few more grain silos. 5 should be enough, right? Connect the power. And then let's see what happens. There's a little bit of a traffic jam here. Well, not a big traffic jam, but there's potential for a traffic jam over here once traffic starts to get even busier. So maybe at some point we will just bring the silos up to a parallel road so that the traffic on the main road doesn't get interrupted by trucks stopping to drop something or pick something up from the storage buildings. But as it seems, everything is going good so far. We have no traffic jams. Everything is flowing really smoothly. I might just place one more extractor building because I see sometimes some not enough raw products or raw materials issue popping up. So let's just place one more. Can we fit a medium in here? No, we can't. So let's just place 2 small ones. And then we are really done for today's episode. Transform this into potatoes. And then taking a look at what we accomplished, we basically built up an entire industry area from the ground. For some reason, it actually works. So with that said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, we will probably finally build a highway interchange over here. Although it does seem to be working somehow here, but it won't be working for long because we have a huge residential demand, so that means even more cars here. I guess in the next episode it might also be time to finally upgrade gravel roads to asphalt roads, but we'll see about that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't done so, and then I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the cinematics.